Listen!
Welcome everyone, this is Andre's Restart, and today we have a very quick but important update regarding Nintendo's next generation console, and this is all related to some solid concrete information suggesting it could be coming out next year from this now concluded legal battle between Microsoft and the FTC. But before we go further, let me point out that we are aiming to hit 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you do enjoy my content, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. With your help, it just might be possible. So basically what has been going on is that there's been this legal battle between Microsoft and the Federal Trade Commission because Microsoft has been looking to acquire Activision, the company behind Call of Duty and a whole bunch of other franchises, and Sony has not been excited about this. They've been trying to push and argue that by Microsoft acquiring Activision, this would be an unfair monopoly. And Nintendo has been brought into this very public legal battle because it's been argued that since Nintendo is going to enter a deal with Microsoft to get Call of Duty for the next 10 years once this deal goes through, that they're not necessarily creating a monopoly by this acquisition. And Sony has been arguing that no, Nintendo is not competition here, which I'm sure for many of you sounds like a ridiculous statement. If you are going to a game store, you usually have three primary options, and one of them is Nintendo. And over the last half decade or so, Nintendo overall has been performing better in terms of sales than the other two companies. And they even share a lot of the same games. While each company may have some different strengths and weaknesses, ultimately they're all competing for your dollar. But anyways, that's been the big legal battle. It's been concluded. It's been found that Microsoft would not be entering a true monopoly here. Nintendo is considered competition, and this deal is going through. So Nintendo will be getting Call of Duty. We may see Call of Duty on the Switch or whatever's coming next year. But what's really interesting is that part of the documentation, which is all public here, this will be sourced in the description below, on page 92, detailing all the different things from this case, it is said, Switch was released 3 years earlier, and Nintendo is expected to release the successor to the Switch as early as next year, whereas PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series XS are at a different stage of the console lifecycle. So the important part here is Nintendo is expected to release the successor to the Switch as early as next year. So this is basically saying that, yes, they expect Switch 2 next year. That's what it means. Now, it does leave it open for it to come up potentially a little bit later down the road, maybe 2025, because as early means not necessarily next year for sure. But the clear implication here is that that is the expectation. 2024, that's what the companies are looking out for this big system. And I think this concrete information is very important for this conversation. There are many people who have argued that Switch 2 is not coming out till 2026 or 2027 because of this 10-year plan that they heard Nintendo mention before. What hasn't been considered is that there would be other platforms alongside the Switch coming out at the same time, the same way how Nintendo has handled prior generations. So like for example, the 3DS was getting games and being supported for years after the Switch came out. Point being that yes, maybe Switch will be supported until 2027, so it will have a 10-year lifespan, but that doesn't mean Nintendo is going to wait until 2027 to bring out their next new system. They're going to have a couple years of a transition. And this transition may officially start next year in 2024, as implied from this court case. So when you account for all the other things that have been discussed lately with things from Ubisoft, these dev kits that are supposedly out there, some of these insiders suggesting that there is some buzz going around, that maybe something could be announced soon, all these different things might actually mean something. Not gonna say all of them do, but point is, it is totally reasonable to expect Switch 2 in 2024, because literally here we have court documents saying just that. When will Nintendo announce it? What will it be called? What will it be priced? What features will it have? Will it truly come out next year? We don't really have a solid answer on any of this yet, but we are in the time to start expecting something relatively soon. But what do you guys make of this news? Let me know in the comments below. This is Andre's Restart. Thank you so much for listening and watching, and I'll see you all really soon. Take care. Bye.